So I wanted to point out something right off the bat. I can't help but to stress that my desires are to deliver appropriate content for anyone really watching my videos. I do not make them to impose my ideas on others, and with that being said, this is an open discussion, so feel free to leave your comments, your thoughts on my videos, and on the channel overall. Like and subscribe, no lie, you're not gonna regret it. The Goodwill event is an arc that prioritizes what each individual wants out of Yuji's future. I have to say, the author did an amazing job at creating an atmosphere to put the interests of each character in conflict with their mission and jobs as shamans. The arc starts with the clarification of the mission of the antagonist, Jogu, Mahito, and Geto. Retrieve 6 fingers of Sukuna that are in possession of Jujutsu High. I think it's also really important to point out that they're even willing to sacrifice their own lives to make the curses the new humans. But for this video, I really want to put my attention on Todo specifically. He's a character that I think is going to be loved and hated by many. At first, we see him in complete uninterest of other characters, classmates and teachers, and pretty much anyone who doesn't like a tall girl with nice figures. Maybe this was added for comedy effect, but you know, everybody's gotta have their own taste. But I found his reaction kind of completely off, like he's really self-centered, like a grown man fantasizing about a friendship that never happened with a dude he just met. Don't lie, some of y'all did it one time. That fearsome encounter then transforms into a sort of a training session, from which Todo serves himself as a mentor to Yuji who seek to become stronger, getting to him by questioning his level of strength which is necessary to overcome in order to evolve. He's been shown to not just be a brute with ridiculous standards, he's also very capable of antagonizing, reading, and manipulating his surroundings. And very rare are the characters who do not suffer him due to his personal interests. It's very interesting how the author makes sure to put ourselves in the middle of the fight, and explaining to us through the character what kind of person Todo really is. We then get a flashback of Nanami, explaining that an eye that can discern good from evil also has a body full of potential. And it is not surprising to see this pop up in this arc, with Todo himself having an extraordinary talent amongst even the first grade shamans. And with that same eye of discernment, he's also very capable of guiding Yuji away from his mistakes concerning his ability, the Divergent Fist. It's sort of weird, right, seeing him under a different light? So far, he's only been shown to be an uninteresting gorilla, having nothing but brute force with pretty girls for bananas. His idea on the curse technique is interesting, something that is very common in anime, using the concept of chi as their power system. If you're new to anime, it's a power system that is based on real-life applications of traditional martial arts. But another layer is added to reveal Todo's true identity, not as a person that people fear, but as the one he created for himself. Todo explains that existence isn't something that our main character can split into different parts. It is something that you experience with your entire being, mind, body, and soul. Forgetting it is very easy because learning to sculpt an idea of yourself in relation to the world is a task that requires you to know both yourself and the world. In other words, knowing yourself is never limited to what's in your head. He's also a very perceiving character, being able to evaluate not only his comrades but also his enemy. During their encounter with Hanami, the cursed spirit of the forest, he is able to find his weakness and the limitations imposed on his attacks in a very short period of time, including the possibility that everything he stated previously could be false. A level of analysis that we haven't seen in the show yet, and even if his status of genius is self-proclaimed, it's undeniable. His IQ is top tier. Often in anime, we see characters having ridiculous standards for their tests of friendship and mentoring. This type of character is crucial, as they dictate the direction of people he deemed to deserve to take a certain path. They help bring an energy of relaxation that can help us follow the reasoning behind their actions, one enjoying the growth of those worthy of his time and wisdom. Little moments where Todo smacked Yuji really made me think that he's kind of a bully material, and really couldn't fit in because of his rough personality. Nevertheless, his role isn't to deteriorate the state of the main character but to give it complexity. He's not a blank slate. He is full of understanding of how the world operates, and Yuji is an empty one, as he is relatively young and new to the shaman world, explaining how to control anger over the power he gained, and how this particular emotion can be used to be given advantage and disadvantage comes from a place of experience. After all, the wise man was once a fool, but why did he smack him like that? And then that's when I realized that Todo was not just fantasizing earlier about Yuji's friendship, but he deeply longed for one with a person that comprehends his way of thinking and understood his preferences. This is why Todo doesn't get along with many people, having a certain level of incontinence towards the idols of Japan, and his attraction towards a specific kind of woman does make him look ridiculous, even amongst the weirdest of shamans. He has lonely boy syndrome. Yeah, he just met Yuji and calling him a brother may have been a stretch, but their fight versus Hanami? S tier, Mappa, S tier. I'm not only speaking for myself when I say that this fight was enjoyable.
相手が俺を舐めてて俺が舐められてると感じるその瞬間にゴングは鳴ってんのさ面白くなんてない退屈なやつをひねったって退屈に決まってんだろ
Those words piece together his want for dominance, an internalized one for a god complex, wanting to be the superior person, something that very few characters in the series possess, which transformed what he considers every part of his being to be pathological for his social relations. A hedgehog dilemma, if you want to say, challenging his ability to be intimate with others without having to retreat to isolation, and a minor complex of the superior which can explain the smackdown he laid on Megumi in the first season. Nevertheless, Todo still understands his place in the hierarchical system, with very few characters like Geto, Yuta, Gojo, and Yuki who is still a mystery to the audience. Not getting in the way of those who call themselves the strongest reveals a fear of unnecessary conflict with those of higher caliber and skill level, not necessarily of title. The mindset of a warrior, one who seeks the pleasures of battle with those who pique his interest and can handle his brute's personality, even as far as to object mourning of the student and staff during the Goodwill event incident. Combine this with a lack of enthusiasm, abnormal skills as a shaman, high IQ with hand-to-hand combat proficiency, serving as a teacher, a friend to help the main character reach his goal, and a sense of absurd measurement of persona. Todo is the character that JJK was missing from day one, and the timing at which his talent is revealed is impeccable. Don't know about you guys, but this is a Kenpachi Jiraiya vibe that I'm seeing. People who don't bore him and take care of themselves with great measure will learn from him in a very extravagant manner. It's good to see a character that serves as a guide for the readers and the viewers. A character that helps us understand the world of JJK, but also helps us to measure ourselves as to how we perceive the world, breaking the fourth wall without really looking at the camera, I could say. But Todo's story doesn't end there, as his role as a teacher for the main character still needs to be fulfilled, as Yuji still has a lot of things to learn. We don't see Todo until the psych! I'll make a part 2 video about this character very soon. Stay blessed, GT out. Yeah. Maybe it's not even that deep.